Advocating for improved family nutrition. This is my project on the health need, priority health need that I found from the family case study. So first, nursing advocacy. Nurses build trusting relationships with patients and families and advocate for rights, health, and the safety of those receiving care. Their job is to recognize vulnerability and social barriers and be able to address them and provide information that clearly matches that language, literacy, and cultural values, and supporting informed decision making free from pressure and bias. So, from the NAA, I pulled this quote, and it's just talking about how nurses should obtain consent for those social determinants of health so that they can directly intervene with those. So, the importance of advocacy in diverse families. Health disparities exist in low income communities and they may experience unequal access to care. And these food insecurity can lead to poor health outcomes. So, some examples of other social determinants of health that can affect this population: low income, lack of insurance, limited transportation, food insecurity, unsafe neighborhoods or work environments, and then financial pressure. And this is also a quote from the Code of Ethics, just talking about how nurses should look for and condemn all forms of oppression and try to mitigate that by providing more supportive, holistic care. For my ISBAR, so dear Representative Angie Burton, which is the state representative overseeing Garland, Texas. As a nursing student committed to promoting community health, I'm advocating for improved access to nutritious foods and living for families living in food deserts who are experiencing significant health risks due to diet-related barriers. I'm concerned about the lack of access to fresh, healthy foods in underserved communities. And in this case, a family is experiencing poor diet and nutrition due to limited availability of fresh foods, reliance on high fat and high sodium meals, and barriers to transportation. The Hispanic household of 6 in a low income area, and they have financial strain. So as a result, they're relying heavily on shelf-stable, calorie-dense foods. Without intervention, limited access to nutritious foods place the family at increased risk for obesity, chronic illness, and adverse health incomes. And I respectfully request that you support policies that expand access to affordable, nutritious foods in underserved communities, such as programs like SNAP and improving transportation options and supporting initiatives that bring fresh food to food desert areas. So, again, it's my situation. Family experiencing poor diet and nutrition, limited access, diet consists of high fat, high sodium, transportation, and safety barriers. Those are the backgrounds, and then I have some evidence-based rationales for each of those and why they're important and how that can worsen the family situation. For the assessment, we found that poor diet increases obesity and chronic disease risk. Maternal nutrition, as the mother is pregnant, affects fetal development. Food insecurity is linked to poor health outcomes. Recommendations. So I recommend increased access to healthy, affordable foods and expanding community food programs and supporting places like SNAP. And this is a quote pulled from the Health and Human Services from Texas, and just explaining what SNAP is. So in conclusion, food insecurity and limited access impacts family health outcomes. Social determinants create barriers, and then that poor diet leads to increased health risks, and nurses play a